Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
No, I'm Baka.
So
What up?
guys, turn my headset down just a little bit.
I know I'm loud. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Just
you're
a
echoing
little
off
bit.
of all of my goldfish here.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
I turned me down a little. It still looks good on my end, so. Gonna do what we have to do. Tech issues already because our program that we used updated on us. There's no telling how many times we had to restart this, but we got it. We think. We hope.
Oh, fingers
Hope
crossed. We'll find out because it's also supposed to start storming, and I'm just worried that that's gonna be like right in the middle of the show. Power goes out. Everything sucks. We're hoping for the best though.
We have backup batteries, though. We can save it real quick.
We can say. Well, that the question. Well, I guess it doesn't matter for Baka because he's in Texas, but
Hey, I've been dealing with rain for like weeks.
Oh man, what games have everybody been playing?
Well, I will go. I finished Doom Eternal. Absolutely love the game. It did a really good job of building on the old one. I recommend, if you're interested in that style, very fast gameplay, very difficult to do, start with original Doom. Well, I say original, the remake to Doom 2016. And go through that and go straight into Doom Eternal, because they went, okay, here's your difficulty. We've already set it. What I really like is the fact that when they went to Doom Eternal, they went, we're not going to hold your hand. We're not going to start a tutorial again. We're not going to do all the stuff to make it really easy at the beginning. They just went, we're continuing the storyline right where you left off, which I think was really refreshing, because a lot of times, like Assassin's Creed will do that, where they're like, where you would go, you turn around and you would play the game, and then the next time you play the game, it was like you never played the game before it.
Yeah, but those were not
Mentality.
necessarily, like, those are all games that could be standalone, so it was teaching you in case you hadn't played previous games. With Doom,
I know, but
you're
it was
continuing the
but
same thing.
it was nice and refreshing that they added on to what they had already created, which is something you don't normally get from a lot of these games. So it was well done. The final boss is actually the next to last boss, and the final boss are very difficult, but still very fun. I really close to 100%ing the game when it comes to all the little items and stuff get, just because they show up on the map. So as long as you've seen them, they show up on the map, and now you're just trying to figure out where to get them from. And that's part of the fun of that game too, is just exploring through and finding it. But I really enjoyed it. I think there was some of the complaints that we got was they were things that they said they seemed unnecessary that they added into the game. I also, as I said before, Doom is one of those games to where the weapons you use depends on how easy it is to kill what you're trying to kill. So there are certain demons that are going to be more difficult to kill if you're using the wrong weapon versus using the correct weapon, and so you have to make those switches, and that's just part of the game. But I really enjoyed it, and I cussed a lot, so there was that. But it was refreshing. There was a lot of yelling, and when it was done, I was very excited, so that's all that matters at the end. Also, I decided to of course I played through Sea of Thieves as well. But also I decided to go ahead and pick up Animal Crossing, or Animal Crack, whatever anybody wants to call that one. Because, yeah, I'm now joined the rest of the cult in that one and trying to, I bought my turnips this morning. I'm sure I'll buy more by the end of the day because today's Sunday and that's what you do. But I'm really enjoying Animal Crossing as well. And I've got a few viewers and stuff that have given me things. I've got an entire wizard robe and a wizard hat. I immediately thought of Baka when somebody gave me the wizard hat. I was like, oh, Baka would love this.
Too bad I'm not playing it.
Right? But it was, I like that element of it, and somebody that's never played an Animal Crossing game before, it's very interesting to see some of the dynamics, and I like the educational part of it. My kids are watching me play some of the time, and when I hand things into Blathers, then I always make sure that because he'll tell you details about whatever it is. The scariest of which is when you capture a wasp and it tells you that they're meat eaters and they're called meat bees. That's scary. So, but I'm really enjoying it. It's very chill. And I like the community that's coming in with that too. Like just talking to different people, and they seem to share. They, and they're like, "Hey, do you mind if I come to your island? I will give you something," or they'll send you something in the mail. Like I woke up this morning with 4 items in my mailbox, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Just people logging in and sending you stuff. All right, cool. So that was pretty neat. And then also I went ahead and I didn't realize, well, I knew there was co-op, but I hadn't played it yet. So Mondays we started a Modern Warfare Monday, and normally we're playing the VR version of it. Well, we decided to go ahead and run through the co-op missions on the new Modern Warfare, and they're really good. Like just like so difficult, so challenging. Have to make your way through. I think they did a really good job on those. And I think we did 4 of them, but the first one took us like an hour and a half to do, just because of how difficult it was, but really fun. I enjoy that. That's what I got.
I've been playing Animal Crossing too. I'm just playing it a lot more casually. I just like to run around, and I'm so ready for this stupid Easter event to be over because
it ends today.
All you do is like, you're like, oh, I'm going to dig up a fossil. Nope, 4 eggs in a row and maybe 1 fossil. Same thing with fishing. You're like, I've got a fish now. Yep. This fish is really big. Nope, it's an egg. Screw you and your stupid eggs. I'm so tired of them. Please.
But today's bunny day, so you're good to go, After today, you don't have to worry about digging any more of them up.
The only thing that you can do with these stupid eggs that they're giving you so many of is make all of the stupid Easter egg furniture and stuff. It's not even that you can sell them for a decent rate or anything like that. Like, that's it. Like, you want to make a chair that looks like Easter eggs? You want to make an archway that looks like Easter eggs? Hey, you want to make a bed that looks like Easter eggs? No! I don't want these things. Stop it.
But if you make all the things, then the bunny gives you things. Good old Zipper gives you things. Ugh. I don't care. I don't want to buy it. No. I was using it for math problems because Zipper ends up giving you, like, for 3 eggs, you get 1 egg that you need or whatever, and which sky eggs are, I get some of the stuff out of the sky, but hardly ever really look at that. And so I was using it as a teaching opportunity. I was like, we have 15 of the earth eggs, and we're going to take it to him to get sky eggs. So how many eggs are we going to get back? So I used it as a teaching opportunity. This is how you homeschool with Animal Crossing. Done.
I just stopped trying for a lot of the stuff. Like the DIY recipes that would wash up on the beach in the rainbow jar so that you know that it's the Easter ones. I just would pick it up and sell them immediately because it's like, I don't need any of the stuff. The balloons, like you can tell if it's a regular present, if it's a solid colored balloon versus the striped one that's for the Easter stuff. If it's a striped one, I don't even bother. I'm just mad that you can't tell the difference when you're fishing. Like, I went last night and I caught 5 eggs in a row before I caught 1 fish, and then went back to catching eggs. I'm like, this is so stupid and unproportional.
The ones that I've had the most trouble catching, like the fish, like seems to be more of a jerk, just keeps turning one direction or the other, ends up being the eggs for me.
Yeah.
So I just thought, like, after they
like they nibble like 4 times before they take the bait, and then you fish it out and it's an egg, and you're like, how does that even? Like, that's so stupid.
I am sad though that they got rid of the cherry blossom festival before they got rid of the eggs. Like, I like the cherry blossoms, like the pink, like the pink looking flowers and stuff. I thought would look really pretty. And it's like, get rid of the eggs and just give me those for at least a day,
Well, I'm hoping that today is the end of it, and they're not going to be like, well, you still have a week to get all of your egg stuff to make whatever you want. Like, no, just take it away. Take it away. I'm so tired of digging up stupid eggs while I'm looking for fossils, because I want to, like, that's one of my things that I'm working on, is trying to complete our fossil set. And I'm just tired of, like, 3 eggs in a row, and I just want to break my own stupid shovel. I'm not good with, like, kid-friendly games, apparently. So.
My kids actually started yelling at the screen about eggs, too.
I mean, there's got to be people out there that are like, look at all of this cute stuff I can make for Easter. Look how festive it is. I'm not one of those. I'm like, no.
I think it's fine. Like, on week 1, I think that's fine. But, I mean, I don't know how long this is. I mean, this is what, the second week, full week of the game being released, right?
Yeah.
So, like, starting of the second week. Like, it's been out for a full week. Like, I think it's fine. The first 3 or 4 days, people are like, all right, cool. Look at these eggs. I can build things out of them.
But they're
because some of the, like... Like the water eggs are a pretty color. I think the sky eggs are a pretty color. Stone eggs are ugly, but whatever. And it's like, okay, you can find one you like. I think the costumes are stupid that they make out of them, where you.
All
like,
of my villagers are wearing them. I'm like,
yes.
y'all all look dumb.
Yeah, because it's bunny day. Yeah, I ended up getting a caterpillar costume from the bunny after I turned in however many eggs it said, and I was like, no, I'm done. Like, I'm just gonna sell this. I'd have no reason to have a caterpillar costume. Why is this a thing?
I don't remember what he gave me when I traded him my 6 eggs this morning. Like you give him 6 of one of each kind of egg, and he gives you a present. And I don't even remember what it was, but I think I was less than impressed with it. I think I was just happy that it wasn't something that was specifically Bunny Day themed.
Right, that's what I was excited about, but it was still a caterpillar one, so I was like, man, damn.
I want to say mine was like a table or something. I don't remember.
Count yourself lucky.
Yeah, well, it was something I don't need. Like the other day I shot a balloon out of the sky and it was a recipe for a cardboard chair. And I'm like...
A cardboard chair?
Yeah.
I've gotten 2 of those. I was
like, nobody's gonna want this. Ever. Who wants this? Like, I get that, I guess maybe the idea is that it's eco-friendly, but no thanks. I also don't like the amount of eggs that you, like, when you're trying to chop wood, you're like, I need this many pieces of wood so that I can make these things that Tom Nook has asked for, or whatever. And all of a sudden, they're just eggs popping out of the trees instead of wood. And you're like, I'm gonna strangle a bunny.
Because that makes sense.
I felt the same way on RNG islands when I needed metal in order to make one of whatever I'm using. Let's say it's the axe has gone completely dead, like it died, and I needed to make a new axe. And I was like, okay, I need metal, so let me go over to a stone and do that. And it's like egg, egg. And I was like, I need iron. Please give me iron. I just need it, please.
Clay. And you're like, I don't need this either. Animal Crossing is one of those games that I love, but I'm also at this point torturing myself with it. But I think it's because it's still the event. Like I said, I'm trying to go find all of our fossils so that we can have a nice complete set, because I think they're neat. And I'm fishing because I want to fill up my aquarium. I got an oarfish. It's huge.
You got a what fish?
Oarfish.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a rare fish.
Yeah, it's in the aquarium in the, like, way down in the aquarium next to the
2 big
fish.
tanks that are down there at the bottom.
It's at the very bottom where it's kind of dark. It's in that room.
Yeah.
So I like to fill up our aquarium and go look at it. It's nice. You know, let's go my aquarium theme. But that's what I've been doing. That and bouncing between different sim games. Like, I've played some City Skylines and Surviving Mars and Planet Coaster and things like that. Things that are really non-committal. I've been very non-committal lately.
Also pausable. Let me pause. Do what I gotta do. Go back. Pause.
Well, and I mean, but to be fair, most of it has not been during work hours. I only played a little City Skylines the other day during work hours because I'm working from home. But I knew it was going to be a slow day because it was rainy and nasty out anyway. But other than that, I haven't been willing to commit to anything. I don't know. I can't make myself go, I'm going to play this from start to finish right now for some reason. So, it's fine. Animal Crossing has plenty of things for me to throw away in the garbage, like eggs. But that's what I've been doing. What about you guys, Baka and Chicken?
What about you, Baka? I got 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about.
I played the crap out of WoW and got my pally to 60.
Yeah, I think you have an addiction.
Well, if the internet's down, then I go work on other things. I built a shelf to house all my games and stuff on. That way they're all in one spot and not like double stacked or anything on each other like they were on the shelf behind me.
Gotcha. Well, what about you, Chicken? Then you got 2 weeks worth of stuff. Go for it.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, for the week after our last March podcast, I was still playing Bloodborne. Well, I finished Bloodborne that week on Friday with the full ending, for the record, which I'm lucky I got.
Hey.
The boss at the very end gave me a lot of trouble. Like, because there's 3 different styles of endings. You could do one and it's over pretty quickly. Then you could do one where you fight a boss and it's over pretty, after you beat that boss, it's over and then the story plays out. I'm not going to give spoilers and whatnot. And then if you do something specific, you get a second boss at the end, and that plays out the full final ending, which kind of explains the story to you in a bigger sense. But the boss, the guy boss, was just ridiculously difficult. I think I was stuck on him for an hour and a half, hour 45, trying to fight him. It's pretty taunting challenge. But
I got a question on that. Since we're on that part of it, so you said that you would fight a boss and the game would be done, or you could fight 2 bosses and it would add to the storyline. Why would they not just do that? And
so think of it. There's 3 endings.
Okay.
You go up to the last guy, you talk to him, game's over. That's it. No boss fight. That's just the end of it.
Okay. So you don't know why anything has happened.
You basically, it's just kind of wrapped up. Not really a spoiler-esque, but it's just kind of, it ends. Your job is done. Go on about your life.
Okay. But it would technically still be satisfying to get that part of it.
Like you would kind of be like, it's basically putting it all behind you and moving forward with your life. Okay. So you're like, okay, good. I'm done with this shit. I'm going on. Second one is you say no to the guy, and then you fight him. And then if you didn't do something specific, then that's where your game ends. And a scene plays out, and you're like, oh my god, holy shit. Gives you more to the story, shows you a little bit more of how this world works, and you're like, okay. But if you did something specific, which requires 3 items that you eat, then a scene plays out. The same scene plays out both times, but if you've eaten them, when it plays out, you blast it away, and then you fight that as the last boss. That boss wasn't that hard at all. Like, I handled him. I think I died to him once, and then I just smashed him. So, and then that plays out the final ending, and you're like, oh, okay. All right,
but all 3 endings are connected. So, like, if I finished let's say the middle one,
it basically I would be satisfied. 3 different lengths of how you want it to end. Like, how much do you want to see of the ending?
Okay, I got you.
You get a little ending, you get an interesting ending, or then you get the full ending.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, here's chapter 1, but it's got a little ending to it. Here's chapter 2 that'll add on to what's on there. Here's chapter 3 if you really want to go into that much, but you're,
yes,
Okay,
like there's more to it. You get all the, because I started looking at.
I was just thinking, why would anybody care about 1 and 2? Like, why wouldn't you just go for the 3rd option if that was the case? That was my thought process. But if it's satisfying for an ending,
the full ending is easily missable.
Right.
Like, if you don't because
you might miss the eating the objects. I get that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so. If you miss that part, then you probably won't get that one. But at least the least you could do is get the second ending. Like, you have to purposely choose to basically end your game right there at the first one. So
I got you.
So I played that and I beat it. Then Resident Evil 3 came out, but not yesterday, but last Saturday it was mine and Grif's 12-year anniversary. And for all of our anniversaries, we always play Halo. But seeing as how it was just me and her, we decided to run through the entire Halo 1 campaign in a single night.
Yeah,
it took us a little over 6.5 hours, but we beat the whole thing on normal. And oh my god, there were so many ups and downs. Like, there is one specific part that I still can't fucking get over. Like, I hit an elite in the back, and then I went to hit him again, but he sidestepped, and Grif was standing in front of him, and she punched me in the face instead. And I was like, you just fucking killed me.
That's not my fault. He did. He jumped out of the way.
That sounds like her and Baka playing with the freaking... somebody jumping in front of the other with a grenade.
Oh, she was running into him, and
right in her face.
I threw one on her back as she was running into them, and I was like, let's just go ahead and kill them first. Cool. All right, my bad. I'm sorry. You died. I didn't mean to stick you in that.
Oh man!
Happy anniversary, Punch.
There was so much fun in there. Oh,
especially
God,
when you have the skull on that makes the grunts like explode in plasma explosions when they die, and all that stuff. That's
the amount of times that I killed. Like, I wish I could explain to everybody how many times I killed myself because I forgot the grunts exploded when they died. Like, I would just melee run or melee one and then run up to the next one, and I forgot they explode, so I would just blow up before I got to the second one. And then I would shotgun one and then shotgun another, and then I'd look at an elite and then I would blow up because I forgot they exploded. Over and over again. I swear I had to have like 50 deaths because I just kept standing on the grunts after I killed them.
To the end of that one and you're on the Covenant ship and everything, those hallways are small, and so you're like, chuck a grenade in, kill all of the 3 grunts that are standing there, but they don't all explode at one time after that, so you're just having to wait to hear 3 auxiliary explosions before you can keep going, or else you're gonna die.
The worst part about that, and I did kill myself this way once, is I threw a grenade and I killed the 3 of them. And then one blew up and threw the grunt body at me, and it blew up while it was flying at me and killed myself. I was like, are you serious? I remembered that they blew up, but you threw one at me.
That happened quite a few times where they would they would eject the grunt body back towards us.
That's one of those oh shit moments. Oh, this is not gonna end well at all.
You're like, I guess you're wondering how I got into this.
Slow motion, a grunt body is coming at you.
It's like, well, fuck. Damn it. Again. Oh, I died so many times.
It was so fun,
So many times.
We died a lot
shit.
when you're dealing with the flood, because you'd stick one of those popper things, but they walk for another couple of steps and then fall down. They'd be too close to one of us. Yeah. We died a lot. There was a lot of, hey, do you see another shotgun? Because when you come back, you don't have your shotgun. You gotta go find it.
Or the time when she dies and spawns up and I'm running forward. She's like, hey, you got a shotgun? And then I die instantly. I'm like, yeah, that guy's got one right there. Or you turn a corner and you're like, hey, that guy's got a rocket launcher. Can you spawn me back
giving
again?
the flood rocket launchers is one of the worst things ever, because you don't know they have it until you're dead because a rocket just exploded.
And those motherfuckers are agile with that shit too. Like, they'll jump up onto the top of buildings and just launch it at you, and you're like, what? What? How? What am I supposed to do about that guy up there? Whatever, fuck it. Throw a grenade at him. Maybe it'll get him.
And then I got in trouble for that. Why do you throw so many grenades? Is what I heard at one point. I was like, because there's a lot of things, and I could just melee them to get more grenades.
She kept trying to kill me. That's what it was.
She's taking my job.
It was a lot of fun, though.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to running through the other ones once they're available.
Any death by warthog running over?
Oh, yes. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Do you even remember it?
Are you talking about the one at the end?
No, the one near the beginning. I hopped back in, and I parked it on a slope.
Oh, yeah.
And I hopped back in, and she was running up the slope, and as I got in, it started sliding, and as she walked up to it, it just slammed and launched her. I was like, we weren't even going that fast. Like, she just takes a tap and launches. I was like, holy shit, I didn't mean to do that. She's like, yeah, sure. It's moving
then I had to
by
go find my
itself.
sniper rifle. It's always when I have weapons that I want that I die to some, just absolutely BS.
Oh, that shit was so
Because he wasn't even driving. It just slid. It's like it ran over Master Chief's toe, and his body just launched away. Like, what is this armor even for? I can't swim with it, but I can be in space. It's really mixed signals. Like, I could take a bunch of gunshots, but if a warthog is on my toe, then it's like popping a helium balloon or something, you know?
Oh, God. So good. Yeah, on the night level where you're supposed to, stalk through and kill them. This is one of my favorite grunt death moments, is that we were stealthing through and I meleeed the first grunt and I was like walking over him because I forgot again. And he blows up, kills me. I lose my sniper rifle because my body flies off the fucking map. And then all the other ones aggro to us, and we're like, well, so much for this stealth mission. Fuck.
Yeah, it's
I
impossible
played that
to
game.
do stealth in those.
I played through that game 4 times before I realized that there was a night vision on that freaking sniper rifle the first time it was on there. Like in 2001 when the game came out, I was like, holy crap, what? That's a thing?
Oh, man.
Do you all ever swap back and forth? Like, because some...
Yeah,
like,
Chicken got the achievement. I didn't even know there was one, but there's an achievement for checking every level. The old versus new.
So I do there are certain levels, and I don't know what it is about when they did the anniversary edition, that it's hard for me to navigate if it's not the older version of it, because the way the walls, like, I guess it's the shading and stuff they did on the walls are different, and it just feels unfamiliar to me, so I can switch over. But there's also some of the, because all they did was map over the top of stuff that was already there. There are areas that are there that you have to flip on the old version to hide properly, because they mapped it larger than the actual thing, and they can actually shoot you through walls in certain areas.
Oh, well, we were too aggro for that kind of stuff. We did not do hiding. There was
literally, I
no,
just ran
we
in
need
and
to
died
hide
most
somewhere.
of the time.
It's a little different when there's 2 of you too, though, because you can get away with not having to worry about hiding.
Yeah, we died a lot, so we just spawned each other afterwards. But yeah, as I was playing through, I would literally every new section I would just switch it back and forth to see the parallels of how they did it. They did a lot of tricks on the
the original still looks good. Like, I mean, to me it does anyway. Like, it still really looks good, especially that PC transfer. But I mean, it was already on PC originally anyway.
Yeah.
But it still really looks good to me. But
I just remembered how hard it was to do the mission, because we talked earlier about the grunts exploding. That mission where you have to escort Keys out of prison, essentially. Mm-hmm. Oh man, those people have such a penchant. Your NPCs have such a penchant to want to be really close to the enemies when they die. We had to do it like 4 times because Keys was standing next to grunts.
Like, we had to, at the start of it, we had to get on the middle platform all the way into the back, so Keys would go to the back of the room, and then as soon as it would start, we would, like, sprint up to the doors and just mow them all down real quick before Keys would come up.
Yeah.
And there are, like, 3 sword elites, like, counting the ones going in and then coming back out, and one of them's invisible.
There are a couple of them are invisible. Yes. And,
yeah.
Oh man.
They were not nearly as much of a problem.
And shot him, and then he just hit me with the sword, and I died. I was like, okay, I guess that's not gonna work.
Yeah, they're serious.
Yeah, forget how OP they are at the beginning. The first time you see them, when you get to Halo 2 and you actually get to use one, you're like, yes.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing the Halo 2 campaign.
Yeah.
Halo 3
still
as well.
one of the
I'm
best
just not
campaigns
looking
ever.
forward to the arc in Halo 3 because that level is so long. Like, set aside an entire day.
Halo 2 is 2-player too, or is it 4-player?
4-player.
It's 2-player. Is it 4-player?
Is it 2? I thought it was 4. I thought that
3
was...
is 3 is the first time you had 4-player.
Yeah. Okay. So 2. Well, that's good.
Because 3 is where he falls to Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because 2 is just 2-player.
Okay.
So you're you're again two Spartans or 2 elites.
Well, you're Arbiter and an elite. Arbiter and the rando.
You know what I mean?
Arbiter and the rando.
Like, at
Master
least when
Chief and
you're
Master
the
Chief
Spartans,
Junior.
it's 2 Master Chiefs. But when you're playing with the elites, it's like Arbiter and that other guy.
And that other guy.
His brother,
Aww.
Bob.
Aww.
It's the Arbiter and Bob.
It's the same thing in 3 though. It's Master Chief and Arbiter, and then 2 random elites.
2 randos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You gotta be the extras.
Everybody's fighting over who's who. I wanted this. Everybody's got the same powers, but it doesn't matter. I want to be part of the story.
Starting
Yes,
weapons.
I want to see who.
Because the elites spawn up with. Well.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, but you can't be trusted with a hammer when we're in a group, so.
Well, he's got to play with us to be able to even get a hammer.
And do you really want the man to have a hammer if you got exploding grunts around? boom, grunts go flying right at all of you.
Or they
It's
just
like
kill
a
him
grenade.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, that is what I played for that week, and then that my last week, I started Resident Evil 3 on Sunday, and beat it Monday night. Which
Wow.
it was 6 hours, 6.5 hours, and I played it pretty casually too.
Yeah, it was
I
very
picked
short.
up everything. I
Was it
unlocked
that short
everything.
before?
No, apparently from what I've read, they cut out like they cut. It was only a third of the original game. So it's a lot shorter. They
I
took
wonder
out a
why
lot of
they
the
did that.
puzzles. I don't know if it. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It feels more like a DLC or a short story for Resident Evil. It does not feel like a full Resident Evil 3 Nemesis thing. And also, I will say that I felt like Mr. X's presence in Resident Evil 2 was much more
Threatening?
imposing than Nemesis's. Because honestly, most of his shows up were just basically him stalking you, like chasing you in a linear fashion into your next area.
And then he was gone.
And Mr. X was just a presence during the whole second half of the police station when you're like, you just constantly hear him. You're like, okay, where the hell is he at now? He's not around here. Then you go into a room, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, Brother Man knows I'm in here. And you run around and try to get out and leave him somewhere. And then he would always eventually find you one way or another. But yeah, I like the story. It was super good, really high quality game. You could tell, just it was too short and the price point was too high. Either one of those two things need to change. Either you need to make the game cheaper, or you need to make the game longer.
Can you compare like Resident Evil 2? They did the remake for it. So how compared to that, like compared to its original version, I guess is the best way to say that. The
I've
original
played
version,
Resident Evil 2, but I haven't played Resident Evil 3, the original version. I've seen a lot of it played.
Well, but what I'm saying, you're saying they're saying it's about a third. What would you say Resident Evil 2 comparatively? How much of that game did they keep?
Pretty much most of it.
Yeah. So
Like,
you,
I mean,
and it took you how long to beat it? You think?
The whole thing, like all 4 stories.
Yeah, because it's got more to it, right? So.
Yeah, I would say all 4 stories took me about 20 hours. Maybe more. 20, 24, 26 hours. Because you got Leon A,
So
Claire
still
B,
6 hours
Claire
of story.
A. Yeah, like there was lots of story for each one of. This one is just the
Plus
storyline.
all the extra characters and the
Yeah.
things you can do with all them.
Yeah, all the mercenary
The
stuff
tofu.
and whatnot after. And yeah.
You think they would have
Yes.
added more into, or not added more, but kept more of the original game and maybe found a new element for replayability in that case if they
They
based on the
did.
price point.
The replayability comes from they have a shop that you can buy with your unlock, your achievement points that you get, basically your objective points that you get throughout the game, and you can unlock different things that make your character more durable. You can unlock infinite weapons and things like that. For now, you can only play the game and earn them, which I'm sure they'll make it so that you can buy them someday. But you can buy those enhancements for your characters, and then you can play through the game more so. And there is a secret difficulty, because right now it's normal, assisted, normal, hard, survival, expert, or inferno. So there's 4 normal difficulties, and then there's the inferno difficulty, which is basically if you are a god gamer, you don't want to play on it because it's just too fucking difficult. Like, you think think Nemesis was bad, he literally almost teleports to you. He moves so fucking fast. You can almost nearly not escape from him. The zombies are almost triple in every aspect. Every time you turn a corner, there's like 17 zombies. You have to be perfect with your dodges. You might as well not even try to shoot them. They give you advanced zombies super early in the game, and they're extremely oppressive. The game is just constantly bearing down on you. Do not play this unless you are absolutely ready.
Yeah, the super
'Cause
hard
it will
version.
the Inferno version. It's just very, very dangerous.
And yet there's going to be people who speed run that.
Oh yeah, I've already been watching people that are speedrunning who are doing no knife, no items, no upgrades to it. They're just literally running through it, dodging and bobbing and weaving as much as possible. It's crazy to watch people become so skilled at something so quickly. But I mean, they have built years of muscle memories into their hands. So,
but it comes packaged with the Resident Evil Resistance multiplayer thing. Yes. Which you were playing even this morning when I was like, come on, we got stuff to do.
Is it good or no?
Okay, first of all, I have been enjoying the shit out of it. Like, I only play the Mastermind. Because I like, it's a single player, it's almost like a single player style. And I've unlocked all 4 of the Masterminds, because there's Annette, Daniel, Alex, and Spencer. They all 4 have different play styles. Daniel seems to be the most popular. He's got Mr. X as his bioweapon. And his play style is zombie control, so that he can get into the action and attack them, which they can do a lot of damage. And it's very strategic, because I feel like I've been like doing a different kind of strategy and whatnot. The more you throw at them, the more time they get. So you want to damage them, but not throw too much stuff, because the more stuff you throw at them, the more stuff they can kill or disarm, and they get time bonuses for it. You're literally just trying to wear out their time, slow them down, because they respawn if you kill them. So they lose 30 seconds though off of their timer if you kill them, which I think it should be increased to a minute. If you happen to kill one,
I would agree. The 30 seconds doesn't really seem, that's pretty negligible.
Yeah, like they start with 5 minutes. Everything they do successfully, they can get time added to their counter. Everything that I do against them gets time taken off of them.
And they're just progressing from point A to point B?
The first stage is they have to collect 3 keys and turn them in, and then they can escape. Or they can move on to area 2.
So basically damned.
Yes. My job is to slow them down as much as possible. And I could preset the stage as I want to, because I have presets that I make for each of the areas. I can put the keys where I want. I can lock which doors I want. I can put up which traps I want, which monsters I want. And that's just the preset part. Free for me. Then when the game starts, you get like a 20-second bonus. I've also heard that there are people cheating in it. Well, not cheating, but exploiting the shit out of this part, where they'll just put a zombie at the front door of their spawn area and then run the zombie in there before they could purchase anything, and then just kill them.
Wow.
Because before they buy anything, they have no defenses, so you could literally just run in there and kill them.
It sounds like something that might need to be fixed a little bit.
Most of the time I haven't even tried that. I just kind of focus on slowing them down as much as I can. But you can choose which cameras you want. You can lock doors. You can play zombies and place traps. Turn off lights, ambush them and whatnot.
Locking the doors and turning off the lights is like the most effective thing I've seen you do. You're like, I can't get out. And it's dark.
My favorite thing is that in the later areas, there are elevators that go up and down, and I will wait until they come up, and then usually 1 or 2 will come, or I'll have zombies or mines right there, and I'll have them kind of get ambushed right there, and then I will activate the elevator to split their team up. So you've got 2 up here, and then 2 are stuck on the elevator going down, and they can't help, and then you just ambush the 2 that are up there by themselves. You can do as much damage as possible, rip off some time, and then when the other 2 come back up there, then you try to either separate them again or cause more chaos. But I think I throw too much at them, because they get a lot of time. Usually they get 2 minutes if they beat the game or if they beat the area with all 4 characters, which I think is just weird, because I mean, even if you kill a character, they can come back and you just wait for them to spawn back in, because there's nothing the mastermind can do at the end like that, because then they don't got anything to worry about. They just basically can escort them.
Oh.
And then that's it. There is definitely some underbalanced on the mastermind side, in my opinion. Maybe I just haven't figured out which character I want to use, because I'm leaning towards either Daniel or Annette, because Alex is a purely trap-based mastermind with a lot of infections. Like she's all about poisoning and using traps. And if they have a good Martin, which is the trap guy. If they have a good one of them, he just basically shuts you down. He'll walk into a room, disarm your traps. He'll walk into a room, just keep disarming your traps. You don't stand a chance.
And then you said that adds time to their every time he does that, right?
Yep.
So it's almost like they need to have a balance there.
Yeah.
Like either decrease the amount of time that they get for each one of those they're doing. So I don't know how much it adds the time. Let's say it adds 10 seconds.
It does.
Okay, then maybe it needs to be 5 seconds if that's the case for like if you're going against her. It sounds like they need to balance a little bit.
It sounds like
Definitely.
with that though that they've managed to give you one like survivor character that can completely counter one of the masterminds, but the other ones, like, you still have to have a good balance in the group and everything. But with that specific set,
and
like,
you don't know who is what. Like if I could see the survivor setup before picking my hero, I could pick a hero or I could pick my mastermind over them. But nobody sees anybody, and they will usually have a healer in their group. They will almost always have a healer in the group. She is the most important character, and nobody will ever run without her.
Well, not only can she heal, she also has an ability where she can send out a pulse, and it'll show like where items and stuff like that are too.
Yep. Which is why whenever I'm the big bioweapon, I always kill her first. Like I will knock her down first. No matter what, like she's always my main target and whatnot. I will say that because you have all 4 of them have 4 different bioweapons. Annette's is William Birkin, big arm eye guy. He's pretty good. Daniel has Mr. X. He's really strong too. And Alex's is a lot different than what I would expect because she's the trap based one. She summons a plant that's stationary, and you could basically put it in hallways and whatnot so that I've trapped them in rooms before. Like they'll go in to start breaking the objective and I'll lock the door and then set up my monster right in the doorway so that they're basically just stuck in the room with it. And you can attach them and then pull them in and then eat them and keep doing damage to them until they eventually all die. Like, there's a lot of interesting tactics you can do, but I think it needs to be balanced because the survivors get so much time for just about anything they do.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be balanced because masterminds have a lot harder time just like getting rid of all of their time or draining it out. But I've been enjoying it. I've been playing it constantly, trying to work out strategies and things like that. I don't mind if I lose because I'm more or less just kind of playing with it and seeing how I can get better. But I have been enjoying it. Unfortunately, it comes with the $60 price tag.
Do you think they're going to stand? Can they stand alone that later? You think? Just kind of like
yes, I absolutely. When they need to, I guarantee they will. Because first of all, it's not even in Resident Evil 3. It's its own separate game on my list.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 3
you just have to buy Resident Evil 3 to get access to it.
Yes, like they will do a standalone later, and they will do a price drop on Resident Evil 3, and then do Resident Evil 3 as a standalone, or Resident Evil Resistance as a standalone.
It's not going to surprise me at all if this is the way games are going. I mean, with Warzone releasing the way that it did, we know it's part of Modern Warfare, but it's separate, and now you're doing it the same thing with this Resident Evil game. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do, and then I'm also interested to see what the price tag ends up being if they charge for it. Because are there ways, like, are there cosmetics and stuff that you can end up adding to this? Like, is there a microtransaction system built into it at all, or one that they could possibly end up adding into it?
They could add to it, which there's enough room for them to add stuff to it, but currently there's no real money. Or actually, so there's this weird thing where you can buy boosts, which doubles the amount of rewards you get from winning a round or completing a round.
And those separate rewards.
Maps? Yeah, there's 4 different maps. Well, they already have a bunch of cosmetics. You could change zombie outfits, gestures, survivor outfits, like all sorts of sprays and things like that. But you can only buy those with the in-game rewards that you earn for playing.
Currently.
And then you could buy RP boosts,
right,
which is the reward points. And then you basically get a little bonus of points whenever you finish a round. And it multiplies by how many people use them too. Like if all 5 people, you get like a 5 times, like an RP bonus of 5 times, which is super nice. So, I mean, they could definitely, they could add more survivors, they could add more masterminds, they could add different maps, and like different outfits for your zombies and things like that. Like, there's a ton of things they could do, which they might want to establish a little bit before they do a free-to-play kind of thing and then add in cosmetics. But it's something they can do to expand their player base, because I do really want to play with you guys. I want to kill you guys.
Yeah, I put Resident Evil 3 on my wish list specifically so that if it price dropped low enough, I would get it specifically for Resistance.
Yeah,
So
like $20 is worth it for Resistance. Yeah, 23% or $20 is worth it for Resistance in itself. Like, it's a solid game. But and you know, you get Resident Evil 3 and Resistance for $20 is 100% worth it. So.
Yeah. We got anything else in that 2 weeks? You good?
Oh, I bought Space Hulk yesterday, Deathwing. We're gonna play that at some point.
Was that the one that you all were talking about last time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, I did the tutorial for it earlier.
Nice.
To
Luckily, we both got 80% coupons for it. I got an 80% coupon for Vermintide 2. After
I did as well after getting that one.
Weird.
I guess you could buy it for a friend. Like,
I mean, I guess.
It's like, okay, could you just give it for whatever the next Vermintide game is?
Yeah.
Give it to us in the future. It might be a year or two from now, but still at the same time, give it to us then. Oh, too funny. All right, we want to talk about the news?
Yeah, there's not much, thankfully, because we're on like 47 minutes just on what we've played this week. Nice.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to throw out there that I heard about today is that they're remaking Resident Evil 4. Which I don't know how you're going to remake a perfect game.
Yeah, but the question is, do they do exactly what they did with this one, which was take a bunch of the shit out?
I hope not.
I will buy a disc and I will burn that sumbitch if they do something like that.
Yes, give them the money for you to burn it. That makes sense.
Hell yeah.
I was reading at one point that they weren't planning on doing like the DLC or anything to add back into Resident Evil 3 either.
That's not surprising.
Not at all.
Which is kind of disappointing.
Coming out of Resident Evil 2, you're like, yes, more Resident Evil remakes. And then they give you Resident Evil 3 that was missing a lot of the content. And you're like, no, maybe I don't want this. And they're like, oh, too bad. We're going to redo Resident Evil 4, which is everybody's favorite. So
honestly, it feels like Resident Evil 2 was like heavy clapping, everyone cheering, and then Resident Evil 3, and you're like, that was good. I enjoyed it, but that was nowhere near the show opener that we had just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
But okay.
I feel like 4 they're gonna have to knock out of the park.
Kind of like going from Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi, where it's like it's still good. I still enjoyed it, but it's something's missing here.
Yeah, definitely. So from what it's looking, it's like the early of 2022 or early 2021. We'll see. That game is so important to me.
Don't mess this up, please.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're just on a leaderboard for it. I mean, come on.
So important.
What else is in the news?
It's been slow these last couple of weeks.
That's the whole point, right? Everything's going on. Everything gets slowed down.
That's true.
Amazon was originally supposed to be releasing its MMO New World in May. But because of the fact all of their staff is having to work from home, there's certain things they're not capable of doing from there. And so it's slow going. And so they're actually postponing that until August, which I think is a good decision anyway, because I think there was issues when they ran the beta for it. So maybe they can make some adjustments on it, and they've got a lot of time to do it. And then hopefully they can continue to work on what they need to. And then when I'm assuming they're more powerful computers that they might be keeping at their office. When they can get access to those, then they can do something with it. So I'm just interested to see, because I mean, I think we all know it's going to end up being on Stadia, but or not on Stadia, I'm sorry. But on this one, like, what does this mean for Amazon Gaming? Because this is their first big release, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and so I'm interested to see where this ends up going. I don't know if I'm for this one at all. Like I like the trailer they showed at the Game Awards really looked cool. Like it really looked cool.
I want to see it. Like that's the main thing. That's why I want it to come out so that I can see what Amazon is going to do in the MMO world. What are they going to do differently? What are they going to do wrong? What are they going to do right? How are they going to change the landscape of MMOs with their release?
And what are they going to do? I mean, the other thing is how do you compete and make somebody enjoy another MMO? Because you've still got the juggernaut that's been sitting there for 20 something years. And, you know, like what they ended up doing is going, well, our new shit's not as good as our old shit, so let's go back to our old shit. You know what I mean?
Let's release the old game. Maybe they'll play this one, and it seems like everybody is playing that one over the new one. Like, sometimes simpler is better.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that ends up progressing. The rest of the news is all about digital stuff, right?
Pretty much. That's where we're at now.
It's mostly about E3 stuff, like, because I remember when we first heard that E3 was announced, I was wondering if they were going to, like, if everybody was going to start doing digital, or if E3 was going to try to get together with everybody and do, like, a digital E3 kind of expo thing. But from what this article says is that they will not hold online experience at all for E3.
Yeah.
So E3 is dead.
It does look like they're going to, ESA, who's in charge of E3, is going to end up helping with the other digital announcements and stuff that are going to take. They're going to help doing that way. So it'll be interesting to see how those are done too. I'm still not sure how I'm going to feel about them, because I think for Nintendo Direct is perfect for them and always has been since they've created it. But I don't necessarily think that everyone needs to go the same style, if you will.
Yeah,
so it's going to be interesting to see how everybody's same style is, because if you think about, let's say Sony, even though Sony wasn't going to be at E3, their announcements that have been doing at E3 were nearly just trailer. That was it. There was no actual coming out and talking that much about the new system, or what it means for the system, what it means for
state of play that they've been doing. So I imagine that their stuff is probably going to stick with that, which is Nintendo Direct-esque. Here's where Sony's at and what you're going to be getting soon, and I imagine we'll start seeing a lot more from that instead of.
Yes, and speaking on the Sony topic, because I remember thankfully that reminded me, because I just found the article for it, but the one of the most prolific Sony games that was supposed to come out here soon, The Last of Us Part 2, is now delayed until further notice. Yep. That means it is not going to be coming out at any point until they say.
Yeah. So, I think part of that was that they were, one, while everybody's working from home, and two, they wanted to be able to do a big launch event somewhere, and you can't
they wanted a full launch experience, and you can't do that for a while. Yeah. Which, is that a good idea? Like, is it good to push back your game just so that you can have an in-face meeting? Like a
launch event.
I mean, that's like a risky move, especially if you're going to try to push it to the PS5 release, because, I mean, that's during the holidays and whatnot. And I mean, yeah, maybe people have more time.
I will have to say, though, Sony doesn't really have a great history of adjusting either. So it's like, I think in this particular case, I think you learn to adjust. Like, you go, okay, I've got this big release. How can we make, and Grif said it several times when all this got canceled, which is, in a digital age, we have commercials constantly for all these different games, so people are going to hear about the games and all that. Over and over again, she said that. Why aren't you figuring out a digital way to, because everybody's at home, they're working from home, their kids are at home, they're just spending all this time at home. Figure out a way to make that release happen.
This is a good prime time to release some stuff that people have really been looking forward to, because people do need that little bit of morale boost and something to look forward to in some of these.
But to be fair, Last of Us Part 2 is not going to be much of a morale boost. Well, it's going to be like, the game is out. Oh my God, why is the game out?
Looking forward to. So it's something to give them, you've been waiting for this. Here it is finally.
Some distraction.
Yes. But instead, because we can't launch it with a physical launch too, it's like, well,
but if you also look at things that are trending right now, like on Netflix, Amazon, things like that, you've got the show Pandemic, Pandemic, Outbreak, like all these things, like it's trending right now. Zombie apocalyptic type stuff is going right into it. So it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I think it's strange that people are embracing that in this day and age, like everything that's going on. But at the same time, this is a great opportunity to do it. And it's like, hey, you're at home anyway. Here's this great piece that's there. You know, I mean, I think that's Disney adjusted to that, right? Which is, hey, in a couple weeks, this is supposed to be released digitally, but we're going to go ahead and release it now. Or this is currently in theaters. We're going to move to that. Like the movie industry's moved to that. This would have been a good opportunity for the gaming industry to move as well. I do like the fact that some are taking this opportunity to work further on their games, but the ones that you know are going to be released, this is a good opportunity to try to promote them the best you can.
I guess some of the trepidation on that is, well, what about the people who want to buy physical copies of this? Because even now, Amazon and other digital physical retailers are slowing shipments on some stuff that is kind of frivolous and whatnot, so it may take you longer to get it, but I think that it would still be worth it to release that way and give people the option that if they did want to buy digital, they could go ahead and buy digital.
But I think even then, you have a Sony representative talk to somebody like Amazon or GameStop or whoever that has that capability of sending that out, Walmart, whatever, and turn around and go, hey, we're wanting to release this. This is an opportunity for these people to stay at home. It's essential for them in that particular state, and they're not having to go out to this. You know, there's no stores open for them to be able to physically get this, but they want that physical copy.
Yeah, but I think that right now supply chains are so overloaded with trying to deliver essentials that most of them are not going to be able to accommodate that. I mean, you've got a lot of people doing grocery orders and things like that too.
And the problem is if you do it for this one, you got to do it for the next one that asks too.
And like, then you've made it so that everything special? That could be frivolous but a hobby also essential, and so you're further bogging down the supply chain.
But all you do is you just say, hey, what if we set up a pre-order, and we say, okay, all the pre-orders have to be in by, I don't know, Tuesday the something, right? And normally, like right now, at least for the couple things that we've done from Amazon and one from Walmart, have been about a week behind where they normally would have been shipped. So it was slowed, but it was down. So now you can turn around. You already know ahead of time how much personnel you're going to need, be able to separate those out warehouse-wise, and be able to set it out. And you go, look, if you don't get the order in before then you know then you set your release date 2 weeks after that particular date.
But I think
so now
you
already
also have to look at
what
countries the actual packaging and everything are being made in, and whether or not those factories are counted as essential or even open at all. Because it could be an issue that you can't get your packaging done. It may not be necessarily that we can't ship it because Amazon's busy. It may be the place where this factory exists is on lockdown completely, and they can't work right now. So
it's crazy to think about how far up this thing has caused these chains to kind of bend and not be linked properly. Like, and I guarantee all of us are like, oh yeah, we're just looking at this part, and then as we look up the chain, we're like, wow, this thing is really fucked up. This whole thing that we're supposed to do.
This warehouse has 5 people in work. Normally it's 500. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I got you.
I don't think they'll be able to make enough boxes to mail in all of these.
Well, you do have, like in California and New York, you've even got strikes going on right now in Amazon warehouses.
Yeah, because of their working conditions and not getting hazard pay and things like that. So yeah, I mean, trying to set up that distribution is also endangering people. So
I mean, it's crazy times. I understand,
but
I also understand that they could do something different to make it better for people. We live in a digital age. People can get their digital goods.
But it just goes back to some digital is not considered essential or part of our infrastructure, like your internet. So you still have data caps and time, slowed speeds and throttles.
Data caps, most major companies in the United States, at least, the data caps are completely eliminated currently for at least the next 2 months.
Yeah, Sprint didn't do that with our phones.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that they changed anything because it's still adding up for our stuff, our data time and everything.
Yeah.
Well, our internet company has a 1 terabyte data cap. Yeah.
Well.
But I use more than that because I don't like them.
Well, that's their normal is 1 terabyte, but they according to the email they sent us that they're eliminating all data caps for now while this is going on.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice if...
because I think part of it is because people are using things like Zoom's House Party, things like that to be able to communicate with their families. And so it is soaking up a whole lot more information than it normally would. And so they're allowing that to happen. And then also people are having to use it for work, where they might not normally be working from home. They're having to use that. So they don't know who is who. They just blanketed it. Right. So I think that's, a good thing that people are adjusting to it that way. But going back to the digital thing, you could do the same. I just thought of this when we were talking about it. Movies nowadays, if you want a physical copy of the movie, it usually comes out 2 weeks after the digital copy. You can actually download it 2 weeks before the actual physical copy comes out. So just do the same thing with say, look, we're going to release the digital copy of it, but the physical copy is not going to come out until we know that we can safely deliver it out to the stores.
Yeah.
So you end up with 2 releases then. Then you can still have your physical release if that's what you want to do. But at the same time, people that want to play it can play it.
Yeah. Well, and you've got some places that you could still, like Best Buy is still open here, although I don't know if I doubt that's the case everywhere, I guess, because it may not be essential to some places, but you can still order physical goods and go and pick it up at a specific time because they're offering a curbside. So theoretically,
as long as it has curbside, you can do
something like that. But it'd have to be through specific retailers, which they may also not like. So.
Well, then it also have to get. Again, it goes up the chain, right? So you're going from the whoever manufactured boxed it into a warehouse that is then shipped to, let's say, Best Buy in this case, because that's the example you gave. Best Buy's big giant warehouse, and then that's distributed to all the stores, right? So it's like,
oh man,
the chain is bent and broken right now.
It's
so
gonna definitely have to make people reevaluate how we distribute some things.
Yeah, which is why the digital age is so important, is because it literally goes from server to your house, and that's it.
Yeah. We just have to get all of our, infrastructure up to date on things like that so that everybody has access to it.
The world hasn't kept up with technology.
No. Well, to be fair, even in our little sphere of games and stuff, do you remember when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One first came out and they're like 500 gig, hard drives. And then you realize that every game that came out was like 100 gigs. They didn't even keep up.
Put anything on this damn thing.
It was 50 to start with. Come on now.
Hey,
now they're 100.
GTA 5, which was one that was available at launch of Xbox One, is a base, before you install any updates and everything, is a base of about 70 gigs.
Now it is.
No, that's before you update it. That's just if you put the disc in your machine, it's 70 gigs to install. Base game.
It's what she did, so she just did it yesterday.
I installed it on my Xbox. I moved the Xbox to the bedroom because we're trying to get this stuff ready and moved for renovation stuff. So I was like, well, I'm gonna reinstall this on my Xbox, which I have not done any updates or anything on it, so it's like it's an offline machine right now for the most part. Put the disc in, it's like offline 70 gigs, machine. And then asked me if I wanted to update. So it's 72 gigs before,
holy shit.
Yeah, before you update it to anything that's been done since its launch, the disc itself is 70 gig install.
Jesus.
So you could install like 4 games.
I forgot. I remembered that it was delayed on PC, but I forgot it was 2 years after it came out on the consoles.
That's why it's still selling. It's making up for all those pushed back, that delayed years.
What it is.
So it just keeps selling. I still don't run it on PC. I'm gonna have to get it someday. I gotta help keep it.
It required 65 gigabytes, but now requires 72 is what I had on here. But still, it's mainly 70 gig, right?
Yeah, mine when I put the disc in, it was 69 point something. It was like 69.89 gigs that it wanted to install before updates.
So crazy.
I was like, this is gonna take all day.
We should probably finish up these articles. We're over an hour now.
Oh, well, yes. Okay. Luckily, I was talking about the Xbox and how they weren't keeping up. Microsoft is in the digital age now and are going to make all of the remaining events for 2020 are going to be digital, except for maybe Gamescom, which they said they might go to if that still happens. And I'm thinking that's doubtful, but I understand that Gamescom is one that's at the end of the season. So
It's
Games
in August.
Am I correct in thinking that Gamescom is the one that's like in August, right? It's
I'm pretty
it's the
sure
one
it
before
is. I'm
PAX.
pretty sure that's one of the last ones.
But that's the one that I'm pretty sure that Johnny, our friend that works at Dice Breakers, he told me there's 300,000 people that go to that.
Yeah,
Like they just
attendance
sell
last
tickets
year-
and you just go.
Yeah.
Attendance last year for Gamescom in Cologne, Germany was 373,000.
That's
That
all.
ain't
Like
happening.
you've
this
got to limit how many people go in there.
That
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to like cut
Especially
it
in
down
Germany
to like
right now.
12
Like-
people, and then everyone's gonna have 100 feet space. Gamescom is not happening. I'm calling it now. Germany is getting it under control, but if you put a convention with 400,000 people flooding into your city, that
Yeah.
shit ain't gonna be under control for much longer. Like, and then they're going to
it's
all
gonna
take it
spread.
back home.
Yeah, it spikes the spread again.
Yeah,
Yep.
like that's way too many people. 400,000 people flood into your city. Oh,
That's a
my
lot of people
God.
just in general, but like during something that's highly contagious, ooh, maybe not.
Not so
That-
much.
That's our entire city twice, all going to one other city to visit.
That's three PAX events.
Oh my God! All like 3 PAX events in one that just put into one
Yeah,
area.
3 PAX events all in one, and it's like, wow.
I cannot see that happening in any sense.
I'm
all.
still surprised though, like that, and I think it's just because they're limited on how many people in like with PAX, you have one company that's created several different places across the United States that you can go for an event. And then plus we have E3 as well. I'm very surprised that Europe, everybody's just like, okay, we'll just wait on Gamescom. Like that surprises the hell out of me because they're waiting hours, like 5-6 hours to play a game. And it's bad enough waiting 1 or 2 hours. It's, you know, I mean, wow. 370,000 people.
Yeah,
In a,
it's a lot of people.
how big is the town on its own?
Cologne? Let's
Yeah,
find out.
let's look up, see how it is. Let's see how much of a population jump that is.
Probably quite a bit. I mean, just anywhere.
You got a
you're
bunch of
seeing
empty
that many.
hotels that are there, a bunch of empty hotels throughout the entire year until that day in August.
It is a major city, though, isn't it?
It is,
Oh,
it is
wow.
a major city, but I don't know how big.
The city has 1,085,664 people. That's just
they-
the city.
So they jumped to 1.4.
Hold on, that's just the city. The entire Metro Cologne area?
Yeah.
8.6 million.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's a little less than half the size of New York.
Yeah.
That's still a lot
So
of people.
because New York's about 20 million. So
Yeah, that's a lot of people that just flood into the city real quick for 3 days or for 5 days. Woo.
wow.
Woo.
So I mean, it shoots into 9 million basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because by the time you count your vendors, everything else, like that's
Yep.
That's probably why they're waiting on it, because it's such a huge tourist attraction, and they really don't want to have to make the call to give it up.
Well, it's
But
also
they're
really
It's a
far in
mass-
advance,
Going
and
to
a
have
lot
to.
of people are trying to cross their fingers and hope this all goes away during the summer, which that's not really how it works, but we can all be hopeful.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
in a perfect world, this thing, we get a vaccine, and then everything starts going back to normal once it's accessible for
Or
everybody.
people would actually stop spreading it.
Yes, stop going
Yeah.
out and doing stupid stuff.
Oh
Or
my god.
produce.
Oh, people been a stupid.
Well, Bethesda's not
the
doing
blood of
anything.
Jesus.
So
Which I find crazy. Like, Bethesda's not doing anything.
I don't find that
at
crazy.
all.
What are they going to show us? Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield are so
Yes.
far out that they
Show
probably
me.
don't have anything to show for it anyway. So what are they going to show us?
Show me Skyrim on the refrigerator again.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's their E3 event. Is here's another place for you to look at Skyrim at. Ha, it's funny. We're memes now. That's it. They ain't got nothing to show. So I'm not surprised that they aren't doing anything.
they got bigger issues they got to deal with right now. I mean, like like internally, let's say none of this problem with the coronavirus and stuff is going on, they got bigger problems to deal with. So like, get your shit together.
They are still pushing 76, even though no one's playing it.
Yeah.
Because I think it just came out on Steam.
They're just trying to do events and stuff, and I think maybe their hope is that they can kind of capitalize on a lot of people being home and needing something to do. Maybe they'll come back to Fallout 76, but...
You have to be there to come back.
Well, they're still releasing events and junk, so...
Yeah, it's for the 4 people that are still playing.
They released Doom. That's all they got right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have anything else like in the pipeline at the moment that I'm aware of.
And that's more id doing the work.
Yeah,
them, so
they're
it's
just publishing it.
Yep.
So. Oh my god, kills me. Anything else?
No, I think that is it.
Red Dead's all done. I'll have the last episode up by the time this podcast goes up.
Woo!
If you're looking to binge it, which I don't know why you would, because that's 95 total episodes at about half an hour a piece. But if you were looking
some people
to
have that
binge
amount of time.
it, you know,
it's shorter than some animes. Actually, a good amount of them. So, you know,
That's
It's
true.
shorter than One Piece.
Yeah.
And it's still going like with like 900 episodes.
there you go. See,
I mean,
And
hell,
it's
you
at
could
its
start it
halfway
now,
point.
watch 1 episode a day, and maybe by the end of it, the pandemic will be all worked out.
what better way to spend your time on a pandemic than with Grif? Come on,
yeah, there you go.
Chicken gets to do it every day.
Help me.
Oh, shut up.
You still got to go to work, bro.
Yeah.
You get some time away. Why am I cloudy? I'm cloudy. Oh, well. We appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at but that's me personally. You can check us out at Infinite Res PC. Infinite Res PC. Done. Or you can check me out personally at MDB Oak Tree. Check out Grif.
At Grif Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
That'll be chicken through and through.
Check out Baka.
At Baka Pickle.
Also, make sure you go to Grif's YouTube channel. She's talking about. She's done. She's finished. She's putting the last one on there now. For those of you that were like, I don't like episodic stuff. I just want it all to be released. You can now start and continue on and watch the whole thing.
Hey, you can watch 1 episode of that a day, and by the time it's done, the pandemic will be over.
There you go. Lord have mercy. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313. Chicken, what you got this week?
Maybe Space Hawk. Maybe if Baka ever remembers me. Maybe some Resident Evil Resistance. And maybe we'll run through Resident Evil 3 again.
Awesome.
Probably.
Also, make sure you go to mixer.com/MDB Oak Tree, where I pretty much stream every day but Wednesday nights, and I'll be playing some Animal Crossing and some Modern Warfare and some Sea of Thieves. So you can check us out then. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.